There was an article written in this week's New York Times that carried a title that was pretty striking. The title is Saying Goodbye to Hanukkah. And this article has made its way around. And striking because here we are, we're about to welcome Hanukkah. So what's it all about, saying goodbye to Hanukkah? So the article was written by a woman who had a father who was Jewish and a mother who was Catholic. And she spoke about the fact that when she grew up as a child, she lit Hanukkah candles right next to her tree. And she was saying that for her children, she didn't plan on continuing that tradition, but that her connection to Judaism really has all but gone to the wayside. And from our perspective, according to the Orthodox tradition, she's not halachically Jewish because only her father was Jewish. And she's really talking about the fact that for her father and for her growing up, Judaism was merely something which was cultural and seasonal, which gives us perspective. That when we light Hanukkah candles this year, what do those Hanukkah candles represent? Have they become more meaningful to us because there is a period of time that we are in the United States, which is known as the holiday season? Is that why Hanukkah is sort of our holiday? Or is there more to it? Is the connection with Hanukkah deeper? Does Hanukkah touch our soul and leave its impact? So I want to share with you really a reflection of something that happened a number of months ago. I think it was probably, I don't remember the exact date, but probably about 8 months ago or so. It was the time that we were just getting used to living in the pandemic. And we were still, people are today, but most people at that time were really frightened to even leave their homes. The only thing that we would do safely was take a walk around the neighborhood, around our block. And I remember going out one night and walking by the shul, and I kept on saying to my wife, I can't believe the shul is just closed down. Here the shul is always busy, and it's just completely closed, completely dark. And my heart ached every time I passed by the shul. So one night, I decided to go down the shul driveway and go near the main shul, and just to feel like what's going on inside, just to feel connected. And I glanced inside from the side window of the main shul, and I expected to see just complete darkness with all the lights off. And I did find darkness, but I found a red tinge of light among the darkness. And that red tinge of light came from the Ner Tamid, that light that always remains on in every shul by the Aron Kodesh. And that concept of there being a Ner Tamid is reminiscent of the menorah that was in the Beis HaMikdash, which was always lit. That menorah had great significance. That's the menorah that we bring into our homes. And the Medrash tells us that menorah and Hanukkah represents the battle that took place between the forces of light and evil. It all goes back to the story of Bereshis. After Hashem created the world, we're told, Ve'aretz haisa sohu vavohu, ve'choshech al panei sahom. There was complete emptiness. And the words describing the emptiness and darkness, the Medrash explains to us, really represents the struggle of the Jewish people throughout history in different exiles. The word Sohu represents the Babylonian exile, the Galus Bavel. The word Vohu represents the exile of Madai, Galus Madai. And the word Choshech, darkness, represents the Galus of Yavan, the Greek exile. And of course now we are in what's considered to be Tehom, which is the exile of Edom. But going back to Galus Yavan, the Medrash says, was about Choshech, and it was the Yavanim, it was Antiochus, it was the Greeks who decided that they wanted to destroy the future of the Jewish people, the spiritual future of the Jewish people, and there was only one way to do that. It was to go into the Beis HaMikdash and make the Beis HaMikdash a place which was incapable of having a flame lit, because forever, based on the pasuk Leha'alos Ner Tamid, as Hashem instructed us in Sefer Vayikra, that the Beis HaMikdash should always be a place where the menorah was lit. And so Antiochus said, the key to destroying the future of the Jewish people is making sure that they can't light that menorah. And he went and sent his troops to contaminate all the oil that was in the Beis HaMikdash. And so we light our candles, of course, we don't have a Beis Hamikdash. The miracle that they found the Pach and they found the little oil to light, and it lit and it lasted, and that Ner Tamid outlasted all of the Yavanim. Well, we don't have a Beis Hamikdash anymore, so why are we lighting the menorah? To remember that candle, that menorah represented the past, the present, and the future of Judaism. And we take that remembrance and we bring it into our home and we make it alive. We light our menorah, reminiscent of the menorah in the Beis Hamikdash, not simply to remember a miracle alone, but to promise ourselves and promise to the future that we are keeping that Ner Tamid, we are keeping that light. When everything else is dark, we are keeping it ever so present. There are so many reasons during the course of this year that we can look down, we can feel down, we can feel a sense of darkness almost engulf us. Baruch Hashem, the shul is opened once again. It's a very difficult time. But now we light the menorah in our homes with hope. We have the hope of a vaccine, but we also have the hope of rejuvenating our souls, of lighting that flame that bonds us and connects us to the past and brings us the present and the hope for the future. May we be zocha that as we light the menorah, we internalize its message of Jewish continuity and link us with the past generations, link us with the light of the Beis Hamikdash that forever brings light into our homes, our hearts, and our souls. Wishing everyone a Hanukkah Sameach.